Do you remember that classic episode without the Doctor that just featured the Daleks? Where people were infected by the Varga plants, and where the beginnings of a dastardly master plan were devised. Well, unless you were watching Doctor Who 54 years ago, you probably don't. Mission to the Unknown is one of many Doctor Who stories that are missing from the archive. Episodes of early Doctor Who were routinely wiped due to lack of storage space, the reusability of videotapes, and the expiry on international repeat rights. Thankfully, many of these episodes were returned for future generations of Doctor Who fans to enjoy. Sadly, Mission to the Unknown has not yet been one of these. So, in 2019, staff and students from the University of Central Lancashire set course for Planet Kemble in order to recreate the lost episode. Mission to the Unknown was a 25-minute standalone episode of Doctor Who from 1965. The episode didn't feature any of the regular cast, who were given a week's holiday from production. Therefore, a new face took over as the lead of the show. Meet Mark Corey, a space security service agent who is investigating recent sightings of Dalek ships over the planet Kemble. He discovers the Daleks are plotting a master plan. A plan that threatens all life in the solar system and possibly the entire universe. The episode acted as a prequel to the 12-episode epic, The Daleks' Master Plan. Mission to the Unknown was only ever broadcast once, and hasn't been seen since its original premiere on the 9th of October, 1965. At the University of Central Lancashire, each year since 2016, the Faculty of Culture and Creative Industries have been creating large-scale projects from soap operas to musicals, as a way of teaching their students how to put together a professional production. Andrew Ireland, Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Digital and Creative Industries, saw the opportunity to do something he has had his eye on for many years.
Andrew spoke to me about it years and years ago, but he asked me if there was anyone at the BBC he should speak to or he could speak to, and I put him in touch with someone. So it's all down to me, folks, not really, no, but I was really pleased to be able to help in some tiny way.
Perceptor readings indicated alien spacecraft.
We've been planning this project for a few months, really since the summer, but it's been in my mind something I'd like to do for probably 5 years or so. Ever since the BBC started making animated episodes based on lost stories, I've thought about remounting a live action version would be a really interesting thing to do.
With permission from the BBC and the Terry Nation estate to recreate Mission to the Unknown, pre-production went into full swing.
This project gives students and staff the opportunity to work together across many different disciplines to really get a sense of what it was like to make TV in the 1960s. Hopefully inspire students about their craft today by reflecting on how things have changed, and it's a good way to give great employability skills to us students as well.
Thankfully, the original camera script of Mission to the Unknown, on-set photographs, and an audio recording of the original broadcast made by fan David Butler still survives, giving Andrew's team an invaluable resource.
We've been going to and from the scrapyard quite a lot to collect bits of rubbish to make it look like it's from the 60s, but I think we've replicated it quite well.
And I was in charge of Dalek wrangling, liaising with various Dalek owners around the country who have kindly allowed us to use their Daleks in the project.
We built it in 5 pieces, half a mile away, and then we had to bring it here and made sure it's slotted together. Fingers crossed all the way, but it's slotted together.
Transportation of props and sets wasn't the easiest thing to do. Who would have guessed that the Varga's biggest weakness was an elevator? It seemed to prefer the stairs, but it got there in the end.
Well done, everybody!
In the 1960s, the cast would generally rehearse one 25-minute episode from Monday to Thursday and record it on Friday nights. A similar approach was taken in this production.
We've had a week to script the episode and make it and see it come together from rehearsals to live.
The production week began with a read-through of the episode.
We did a script read-through before, which was really nice, it was really fun. It was nice kind of seeing the significant chunk of the team and finding out that we're kind of, just as actors, just kind of the tip of the iceberg really, and then there's all these other people that make it possible. So that was really cool to kind of see how big this project's gotten.
Straight after the read-through, the three lead actors, Marco, Jacob and Dan, began rehearsals, and these continued until Tuesday night, where they were joined by the Planetarian delegates. Now that rehearsals were complete, excitement began to build for the first day on set. The production day begins at 7:30 AM in makeup as actors are transformed into Planetarian delegates.
Quite nice actually, it's like a little face massage.
As 8:30 AM hits, Nicholas Briggs, voice of the Daleks, arrives alongside the majority of the cast and crew who are all preparing for recording, which is set to begin at 10 AM.
Slightly nervous, but I've always been slightly nervous on first day of filming. Looking forward to it.
All scenes featuring the Planetarian delegates are filmed today.
From the solar system, we will conquer first!
Later that day, two surprise guests appear, Peter Purvis, who played companion Stephen Taylor, and Edward D'Souza, who played the original Mark Corey.
The rocket in the jungle is exactly the same. It's brought back everything. It's wonderful.
I'm incredibly impressed with what's been done with the whole production. It looks and sounds authentic. I watched the first scenes being filmed and they're faultless. I'm amazed. I think it's terrific.
And I've just seen over there, sitting over there, is me. And he's much handsomer than I was when I was his age.
As they break for lunch, a Q&A session with Peter, Edward and Nick is held, which included giving Peter a birthday cake at the beginning. After all the excitement, it was back to work. Further scenes featuring Marco and Dan were filmed late into the night. In the original production, the interior of the Dalek ship was a life-size set that was repurposed for the story, The Daleks' Master Plan, that would be in production later that year. In Mission to the Unknown, this set only appeared in one scene. Andrew's team decided to use a model set and cut to the full-size Dalek prop for close-ups. These close-ups were filmed on Wednesday, and the model sequences were shot a few weeks later. Production began again at 10 AM.
Hopefully we'll be starting to record in about 10 minutes, but we'll see.
The first two scenes of the episode were shot first, including the iconic Must Kill sequence.
Must kill.
2 PM onwards, the production team focused on filming all the scenes featuring the Vagaplants. This day featured a few issues. One of the problems came from the smoke machine triggering the fire alarm.
This is what happens when you try to recreate an episode of Doctor Who. You evacuate an entire building.
Nick's ring modulator, a machine used to create the Dalek voice effects, stopped working, but in the end, it all worked out. Friday was the final studio day, which consisted mainly of jungle sequences.
I'm quite sad actually. I was saying before, like when you do something like, well, when you do like a play, or you do, when it ends really quickly, and then you're done, and then you're like, oh, that's it, it's over, you know. So it's quite sad actually. I've had a lot of fun.
The 2019 version of Mission to the Unknown was always intended to be delivered in black and white, but it was shot in colour and converted into black and white in post-production.
The ship is empty. The crew has gone.
As the day ended, the production wrapped, and Mission to the Unknown was complete again.
You've all done us all proud. You should be proud of what you've achieved. Well done. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay?
The staff and students at the University of Central Lancashire did something many Doctor Who fans can only dream about. With their hard work and dedication, they have brought back an episode thought to be lost forever.
You can feel the love that's gone into it and the attention to detail. I think Andrew's done a brilliant job.
It was only partly remembered by me, and then it all suddenly came back on the terrible voice. Exterminate, all that came rushing back. It was wonderful.